Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about 5 players that I think need to improve for the Washington Commanders in 2022. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. I'm less than 80 subscribers away from 8,000 subscribers, so please help me get there. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. So last season there were definitely some guys that overachieved, like John Bates, Cosme, and Jonathan Allen, but there were some players that underachieved and need to improve in 2022 if the Washington Commanders really want to make some noise. So we're going to be going over those 5 players in today's video. So the first guy on this list is Diami Brown. Diami Brown had a little bit of a disappointing year. Rookie year, had 12 catches for 165 yards, was a 3rd round pick out of UNC, 22 years old, 6 foot, 195 pounds, but a lot of people thought, he would get 600, 700 plus yards, and that wasn't the case. It wasn't all his fault though, because Heineke, man, there was so many times where Diami Brown was open down the field, just on a go route, and Heineke would not, either miss him, just not see him, or would, misfire and just throw a bad pass to him. So Diami Brown didn't help himself at times, but also the QB play didn't help himself as well, because if he had good QB play, he would have probably had 400 plus yards. Still maybe a little bit of disappointment, but not as much as he was this past year. But he's been working really hard in the off season, on his channel. I'm gonna make a video about him in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. But I think Diami Brown needs to improve a little bit, not from 165 to 750 yards, but if he can go to 400, anywhere from 400 to 600 yards, that's a big improvement, and it will really help the Commanders wide receiving core out a lot, because you got your top 3 guys in Jahan, Terry, and Curtis Samuel. Those guys will be your starters, but then after that, it's a question of who's the next guy. Is it Diami? Is it Cam Sims? So, if Diami Brown can improve, he can be that 4th guy, and if anyone is out for a game or two, Diami can step in and ball out. And if he can do that, that'll really help out the Commanders offense this year. Just having an insurance policy. I mean, they already have an insurance policy now in Jahan Dotson, because before it was just Terry and Curtis last year, and Curtis went down and they were screwed. Now they have 3 really solid receivers, and then Diami could possibly fall into that mix eventually. So hopefully he can take a step up in year 2 for sure. Next guy on this list, and this one in my opinion is kind of obvious, and that's William Jackson III. We paid him big money last offseason, and yeah, at times he was solid, but overall he did disappoint. There was so many times over the first 8 weeks of the season where he had a bunch of penalties. He had penalties every single week, a 15-yard penalty or a pass interference that just really did not help them out. He had a couple interceptions which were solid, but overall I think he did disappoint, was getting burned some weeks, and part of it was they're not playing him correctly. He's more of a man guy, and they were playing a lot of zone. But they're gonna he's gonna have to adapt to it a little bit, but also Jack Del Rio and them will have to as well. But I think he will improve at the very least a little bit this year, because he is in the same system another year and with the same players around. I feel secondary is the hardest position to adjust to being on a new team, new system, new players. So just him being here again, I think will slightly improve his play. And then also, he has to stay healthy. Missed, 5 games last year because of a knee injury, I believe. So, got to stay healthy. And if he can stay healthy and, just combine that with, second year in the system, I think he's going to be better. But I also think he needs to take another step besides that and, be even better. And he needs to be significantly better than he was last year. And if he can do that, that'll really help out the Commanders secondary, because what you're going to get from Kendall Fuller, and William Jackson's kind of a question mark, and then we don't know who's really going to be the slot guy. Probably Benjamin St-Juste, but maybe they signed someone and it's still a question mark there. So William Jackson III is a huge factor for this defense, and he needs to be better than what he was in 2021. Next guy, and Chase Young. And, I know a lot of people might not like this, but he definitely needs to improve from last year. And it was only half the season, but in that half season, he had 1.5 sacks, and that was just unacceptable. He's still good in the run game, and he was still solid overall, but solid isn't what you expected from the number 2 overall pick in his second year after just, playing amazing in the second half of 2020. We expected him, at least I expected him, to absolutely ball out and, get like 11, 12 plus sacks. He did not do that, and obviously his season got cut short, which was unfortunate. And he had 2 forced fumbles as well. He needs to improve though in 2022. And here's my thing though. I am not really going to judge him on the first half of the season. Even let's say he's ready for the first week of the season. I'm still not going to judge him on the first 4, 5, 6 weeks of the season because it's going to take him a little bit while to get back. And then especially if he doesn't come back to week 4 or something, then I'm not really going to, judge him until the second half of the season because, even if he's, healthy, it still takes a while to get used to coming back from an ACL. It's a tough process, totally different positions, but Joe Burrow last year, first half of the season was solid. Second half of the year was just absolutely amazing. So hoping that Chase Young can kind of follow the same path, even though it's different positions. I'm hoping Chase Young has a really solid second half, and that's when we're going to need him. That's when we're going to need him down the stretch. If he has to miss the first few games or if he's, slow for the first few games of the season, that's fine, especially the first couple games where, the competition isn't the best. But after that, we need the number 2 overall pick that we thought we were getting in Chase Young and that we got in the second half of his rookie year. We just need that to happen in the second half of this year, and I think there's a solid chance it does. I'm just hoping he's able to stay healthy and he recovers from that ACL injury pretty quickly. Next guy on this list, another kind of obvious guy, but that's Jamin Davis. Jamin Davis had a disappointing rookie year for sure. First round pick, 19th overall. You expect him to have an immediate impact to be a really solid player at the linebacker position. And David Mayo was getting snaps over him at points last year, and that's just unacceptable. And, part of that was because they missed on the evaluation of him. They thought he was a middle linebacker, but he's more of an outside guy. So just that, I think, will improve his play a little bit, but he's got to take a bunch of other steps on his own. You look at the kind of the stats last year, had about, 76 total tackles, 1 sack, and 1 pass deflection. So, nothing crazy. Didn't have a ton of impact plays. Had a couple impact plays that were nice, but from the, a first round pick, you're expecting a lot more. You're expecting that athleticism that he has, 4.4 speed, 40+ inch vertical to flash, at least once or twice a game. And I honestly only saw it 2-3 times during the season, that first round athleticism. So he needs to be much better, especially because we do not have good linebackers on this team. Besides Cole Holcomb, everyone else, including Jamin Davis, is a question mark. So if Jamin Davis isn't good this year, the linebacking core is going to be not good at all, no matter how well Cole Holcomb plays, because sometimes we only have 2 linebackers on the field. Other times you're going to have 3 linebackers on the field. So Jamin Davis has to play well this year for them to for this defense to improve, in my opinion. Him and William Jackson, if they improve a ton this this season, I think the defense will also improve a ton. So, Jamin Davis is one of the X factors for this defense, and I'm excited and nervous to see how much he has improved this off season. So the next guy on this list, and I didn't know if I should put him on here because he didn't really play last year, but he needs to ball out. That's kind of what I'm saying, and might not fit the criteria, but I just think he needs to ball out this year. He needs to stay healthy because what he will add to this offense, what he was supposed to add to this offense last year, is very, very important. He can help you in the short passing game, intermediate, and even deep passing game as well. So, he is very, and also in the run game as well, some end arounds, and sometimes he lines up in the backfield. So he is very, very important for this team. And, if you have Curtis, Jahan, and Terry lining up, it's going to be hard to cover all 3 of those guys. So That's why he is very important, and he needs to stay healthy. He needs to play this year. And, you know, I know he was kind of playing hurt last year when he did play, but he needs to be better than when he was in those 5 games. Although that first game he played, where he only played like 15, 20 snaps, he did play pretty well. But he is he improved every year. You look at that, improved every year from 2017 to 2020. So I'm hoping he improves from 2020 to 2022. That's going to be tough, because he had over 1,000 yards if you include the rushing, but he can do it. I doubt it, just because, you know, he's going to be the 3rd option, but I think that year he might have been the 3rd option in Carolina behind Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. So yeah, hoping for a big year from Curtis, because he's, you know, one of the X factors for this offense. So let me know down below, what are some players you think, maybe besides this list right here, that you think need to improve in 2022. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.